Director, University Programs and Chief Technology Officer at Willinger Institute of Management. A very warm welcome, sir. May I please invite and introduce Dr. Prashant, who is the Director and CAO at Tasveera Group Institutes, Mumbai. Sir, can we please have you on stage? Can you have a big round of applause as Sir walks up right on the stage? Thank you very much. With that, I would love to invite Mr. Himanshu Kulkarni, who is the Assistant Vice President at Leo 1. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here. One of our esteemed guests would be joining us shortly. With that, the stage is open.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, in order to kickstart the panel discussion, I think we already had a good pre-panel discussion. So, just to introduce the topic of the discussion, I would love to have Mr. Himanshu to just throw some light on the buzz creating word education credit, right? And how exactly it's going to help education institutions and what exactly the magnitude and impact of education credit. So Himanshu, over to you.
So I'm all very thankful for this, and I would like to welcome all of you to have this discussion taking ahead with all the esteemed experience that you all have. I think all of you guys can help us contribute in the discussion. So I would like to start this with a very small problem statement that we have today, that like we were discussing, that a typical tendency in India today stands, if I'm trying to pay 1 rupees for anything, I would like to have something in return. Now that 1 rupees would be exactly for whatever the value it is, maybe it should be for any retail payments, education payments, anything. But the typical tendency today is of more expectations for what they give. And this is how we try to come up with an idea that in education payments and fee payments also, we can help students have cashbacks, we can help them with milestones and rewards, which will more motivate them, and they can use these rewards to develop in different ways. I mean, not only like ma'am said in monetary ways, but in different ways as well, like having more education or skill set, etc. So I would like to ask sir and ma'am to enlighten us with the ideas.
Sorry, but before you start, I will just take a second of yours. And we are actually very fortunate to also have Srimati Krishna Tiwari ma'am, who is the Joint Secretary at Rahul Education. Ma'am, may I please request you to please join us on the stage for this panel discussion.
I think today, this credit word is making so much of a buzz around, thanks to our new education policy. But we as educationists, we've been taught always that कर्म करते जाओ, फल की इच्छा मत रखो और निस्वार्थ कार्य करते जाओ. So, we have to tell the students that, this educational credit, this whole concept of educational credit focuses not towards those green notes or these green currencies, but yes, this is certainly going to get you something as a reward. And what primarily we have to focus towards is that, one, if you are excelling into any field of educational aspect, be you are the you're getting the highest score in the class, you are doing very well in co-curricular activities, you're doing very well in sports, you are actually standing out in your performance, you have to the smallest thing, like you have 100% attendance. We as educationists are here to reward you. And how do we reward you? So not that we are going to give you those notes, but then we are going to give you some educational credits which you can further utilize or reimburse for having higher education. Say for example, I am a student of management and I have performed very well in my semester examinations, and now I'm getting some educational credits, I can then further utilize those credits to have an extra elective or a certificate program for which I will not have to pay. Okay, I will not have to pay, but this is the reward for my great performance, and this I am encashing, or the wrong word, encashing, I'm probably utilizing it for having a smaller elective. In a way, we are actually aligning with the new education policy of UGC and giving all that big smiles there in Delhi, that we are promoting the elective concept and having a student get a choice of subjects from his basket of kitty that we are offering, and the university can say we are a multidisciplinary university offering anything and everything that you're looking at. So thank you so much. This is amazing as a concept for educational credit, and I'm sure a lot of us educationists sitting out there will have great ideas to add to this, and I would want my colleagues to as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, I think this is what we actually experimented 10 years back in one of my previous university, but that was not exactly with the what right now I think it's what is point. So, like, we don't want only graduates. We have to have the graduates who have certain attitude, have certain skills, and that's how our syllabus normally, like, so whenever we're teaching, we talk about curricular activities, co-curricular activities, as well as extracurricular activities. But unfortunately, what happens is the student, we always focus on their curricular activities and marks and grades. So unless and until the student is again having the other skills, it's not going to add a value to the ecosystem. So in my previous organization, when I was working as a dean, what we did is that we created a point system. Now this point system is again connected with what various activities the student do apart from their curricular activities. So let us take a student has an inclination to do some research, and undergrad students normally don't get that opportunity, right? So if the student is inclined to do that research, let us facilitate them, and the student is publishing papers, give them certain points. And these points, so at the end of the 4-year or 3-year degree program, if student is having certain points, then only as giving him a degree, that makes him to get something beyond what they are learning in a class. Now I think when I was discussing in the morning, right, so education credit, so yes, what we can do is we can have incentivized various activities that they do in a class. One is a fee payment in a time. They can have attendance, because today in a college, having 100% attendance itself is a challenge, right? And the major question that we as a faculty has to ask to ourselves is that today whatever content we are delivering in a class is already available on Google, is already on other platforms. Why somebody should come to your class? Unless and until we make our class interesting, experiential learning, and a lot of new things that we create, they are not going to come in the class. So if the student is coming to our class to make it interesting, then why don't we give them certain points, certain credits, which they can use it for getting something beyond the curriculum that we are offering in the university, right? So similar kind of things, and so that can also be related to certain physical exercises, yoga, and everything, because that will also help a lot of things which is part of any. So probably it's a good thing to work upon. I was just talking to him that already I have prepared certain case studies, and I am finalizing those case studies in this domain, that how we can incentivize various activities coming on a campus. I think one of the panelists in the earlier one was rightly said that AI, but do you think that AI is not going to come? We all talked about Y2K problem, it has come. Y2K has resolved, no problem happened. Right? Same thing, AI, whether we want to include AI in our syllabus or not, it's going to come. It's up to us that how we adopt them, and we teach our students that how AI can be effectively utilized. That will make them better engineers or better graduates than anything else. So same thing, anything we have to bring into the system. We also have to see that it has benefits with reference to the technology and the society both.
Yeah, and on the same note, I think like those students who are doing something way out of the curriculum and they are not being recognized or they are not being facilitated in various manners. So here with the education credit, they would actually feel the importance of their work which is done, and they would actually able to encash it, or encashment may not be the right word, but they can actually take the additional benefit out of it. So it's a motivation for us as an educationist to motivate such kind of innovation, so that students would not feel like not been really pushed upon in terms of what their actual potential is. So I think this can be a good hands-on overall for them. Sir, what's your thought?
I think my context is a little different in the sense I don't come from a large university campus context. I come from a standalone institute within Matunga in Mumbai, right? So within the city. So many of us may have within the city campuses like this, and the challenge is somewhat different. Of course, I go back to 2013-14 when we had a workshop with the World Design Organization to try and design Matunga as an educational hub. Okay, because if you think of it, you have Wellington, Luya, Poddar, IES High School, VZTI. So all of us are there. Put together, there must be over 50,000 students there. Now, if you look at it that way, there are hardly any services. If you step out of a Harvard, you have a Harvard Square where you get discounts for your cards and things like that. Right? Now, all those things are missing. Now, you have, of course, a lot of commercial activity around Matunga, but students don't really benefit by it. So, you have expensive services which they have to pay for. Now, luckily, in a large campus like yours, you can control in some ways. So, one of the unique challenges, of course, we have all the karma points and all that you say, all that we have. But now, monetizing it is the next level of challenge. Because in-house, we have very limited services. There are a lot of services outside. Education opportunities can be given, like ma'am also said, is some courses or some new ways of interacting with some company or some such thing. So that can be monetized. But I think the rest of the services have to be from the outside. So the solution which you're talking about is perhaps something which acts as a bridge between what the students need and what the traders outside are willing to support, right? And I think we need to experiment on that. And I probably echo sentiment of a lot of standalone colleges like that. They may not have the same kind of, let's say, ecosystem to support them.
Exactly, like someone like a Harvard or a Wharton, these guys, they already been, I would say, blessed to have an ecosystem which is open because they are attracting it, right? So, but for someone who are like non-Harvard or...
But in this, I will tell you, we had an interaction with the trader community. We had actually called them. And the interesting point is they are willing to support. Okay. It's just a question of building a platform.
So, if I may add, we all are talking about collaboration, we need to collaborate. So if there is something that you have and I don't have, we can collaborate. I have the D.Y. Patil Stadium. If there is some student who's done outstanding, we could have a membership card or an educational credit wherein you say that why don't we have a tie-up and that student gets an chance to avail facilities at the D.Y. Patil Stadium. We are all there to collaborate. So something like that can also be thought of because that will bring all of us together and we'll solve that purpose.
Adding single thing like with the NEP, there is a provision that you can have best course from other university and you can get a trade transfer, right?
So not just courses, fun-related activities also. Today, the child has enough to study. There's so much of online platforms that are going on. Let's talk something which is very interesting and fun. So let's have some events on cultural, sports, a simulation activity which he could experience. So we are India's first in having the first simulation lab. So that is something amazing. I would like to open it for all. So we are a health sciences university. We are the first in Asia to set up a simulation laboratory, medical simulation laboratory. So something like that could be, jointly done up where if somebody is doing very well and want to experience AR, VR, virtual reality into medicine or health sciences, that could also be done through your educational credit system. So we can all join hands together.
And probably we can add that as an additional offering for our leaderboard students or
Yes.
probably, someone who are doing outstanding really well in terms of their education or fee payment behavior. So that can be a good add-on for them because it's a really good innovative offering which I'm providing. So yeah, what's your thought?
First of all, thanks to Observe Now for inviting me time and again. It's a very enriching experience to learn from all the fellow panelists. Talking about the futuristic technologies and the payment systems and education credits we're talking about, digital currency, whatever. The problem in this country is the education system is so very different from cities to rural areas and so on. Again, you have big universities like Mumbai University catering to 846 at this point of time, I guess, different colleges, and again their own individual systems at the college levels. There are private universities, there are deemed universities. The fee structure could range from say 25 lakhs a year to say 25,000 a year. Now the challenge for us policymakers is how do we reach to all of these? And unless and until we address this problem at the grassroots levels, the technology will remain only for the fortunate few. So, talking about AI, blockchain and so on, great, we are doing well. How do we do it when for certain colleges, payments become an issue? So I would request people like you all who are in the technology sector, who are building up different platforms, how do we reach the masses? See, a country grows when they say the maximum education is well qualified. Only then they can deliver, and that's the need of the hour for a country like us. So how do we reach to all the places, whether it's Tamil Nadu, it's Maharashtra or it's Punjab? How do we cater to this? So that's a challenge for you. And I think the education currency or the ones we're talking about are futuristic technologies, which, I just spoke to my son who is studying in New York University. The penetration of technology is at a different level. So when I pay him fees, he says, okay. I said, have you given it? He said, no, after a few days. I said, why? He says, if I pay now, these are the benefits. If I pay then, these are the benefits. So incentivizing the students through, again, as Madam said, through additional courses, additional certifications, meal coupons, and passes for events and so on. So this is how students manage their money. And the other part was also the financial literacy aspect of it, right? So I'm happy the government has recognized the need. Not only students, every householder, every housewife should understand financial literacy, how to save, how to use her own money at the right point of time. Great financial planning. And now we have a lot of people, who keep on continuously calling. So I have to take a session on financial literacy. I said, we had it last week, but sir, we can have it next month. I said, and talk on the same topic again and again. So financial literacy, yes, very positive point. There are a lot of agencies, I think, appointed by the government who have trained people. They go down to different colleges. I mean, we all must have experienced that. And this training of financial literacy at the student level is great. It helps them to understand the different aspects, and they can plan their lives properly.
Thanks a lot. Krishna ma'am, what's your take on this?
Very good morning and afternoon, whatever, to everybody here. I know there is a big transformation in digital world today, and students are more adaptive than we as faculties, and we are somewhere lacking to their speed. They are much smarter. They are Gen Zs now. They know what they are doing exactly. We think and they are in action. So only where they lack is a little of knowledge somewhere and a good right guidance. So I have seen in our college, it's a time of experience what I'm sharing, that students, they keep, they go for tournaments, they win the tournaments, they work very hard, they come to the college with their shields and their big medals and cups and all those. We see that we also spend somewhere in getting those medals and credits to appreciate them. Rather, and also they wish to get a cash in hand when they win for something, whatever big or small amount it is, but they like to get the cash for the entire group. What we found was yes, the cash what they took was never discussed to their family. They had taken this much cash from the college. So we, in engineering college I'm talking about, so we come to a point of suggestion that let's work on something, where we can upload these credits to their financial background, where they can understand it, where they can store, save, and they can use for at least nothing more but then for canteen purpose, like they want to eat something or they want to go and out chill something, they can use those particular points, financial digital currencies what we are talking about. So these are all different applications which has come through the web, the different kind of internet and the expanded learning system and the open sources. We have also we are the nodal center for Bitcoin investigation. We are working in hand with Government of India, where the students are joining the faculty and they are interestingly understanding how Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are working, with their faculties. So these things are like, learning with experience, when they are put into these kind of circumstances, they understand, they learn. But the children who don't get into all this, they are at times lacking, they lack knowledge. And they are like, when they push also somewhere, they feel like, oh my god, the college is going to ask for money for this. So if the college is asking money, I understand. For anything we require some kind of financial, status. Finance is the backbone of every institution, we know that. So for that, we require to give some credits to them. That would, sometimes they can have it kind of, they can take it or they can pay it back through some or the other services. And a very classical example I discussed to one of my friend whose daughter got admitted in, I think MIT, and where she went through educational loan of 1 CR around, and the course fees was 140 and 40% was somewhere, she got a scholarship kind of. So I could understand that she said, this female, the girl who is in the college, now she goes to if they have some 18 or 16 hours weekly credits to be given to the college. So she goes to the food, their canteen or the cafes, she works for cafes, and there she makes what? Imagine, so much of loan she has taken, there she goes and she makes smoothies, smoothies. The number of smoothies she makes, that much credits would be added to her, credits in her college fees or whatever kind of the digital package they're giving. So she can access it anywhere, anytime, if she is in that particular college campus. And we understand, we get to analyze the data, where is she going, even the parents could see at a particular end that where the daughter is, where is she, is in the library, she is in the canteen, she is in the college, in the campus, in the wherever place where she is getting in. So yes, this technology has helped us a lot. It has made us transparent to the world around. But yes, infrastructure development for any institution is actually a big challenge. Digital infrastructure. Digital infrastructure with all those learning materials, with the faculties, we understand retention of the faculties is really a task. If the college, even though they try very hard to retain, to whatsoever extent. So it's actually the, kind of inflow and outflow of every institution, this is what we have, especially in India, and to a particular place as Sir spoke about, we all are not obliged with high standards of fees payment of students and parents. Somewhere we are going through financial drawbacks also we have, wherein some are defaulters. So we have to take charge of all that, and it's a tough task. So we need government to intervene into it, and yes, we need that kind of support from everyone around, especially industries. Yeah.
Just one thing I'd like to add here is, outside India, when we talk about developed countries, so it is the student who earns and pays his fees. Whereas here in the Indian context, no matter how less or how more the fees is, it is the parents who always pays the fees. So while developing these technologies, one also needs to keep that aspect in mind.
Exactly, and as ma'am rightly said, like from the technology infrastructure perspective, where like the best of the brand, they would have the in-house infrastructure, whereas the growing brands or like the ones which are like sort of a regional brands, they would obviously lack in those pieces. So that's where you need a standardization or something where you can just use one platform and get the best of what the others are getting. So that's been a bigger problem, and that's where we are trying to have something which is more democratized and which is more accessible to all across geographies. So that's one of the problem statement which that I think Johan has looked into and has tried to solve on those aspects. So great, I think that's a very good sort of flow of
Add
idea.
one point,
Yeah.
which was alluded by ma'am, but I'm just trying to emphasize that
Yeah.
you do all of this also because you want to create new facilities. Like he spoke of special labs and things like that. It takes investments to do that. You also want to ensure that having invested, people utilize it. So incentivization is not just for the student, but also from a university standpoint, because we want to ensure good utilization of all the facilities that we have.
So I just wanted to say one thing. You made us meet at this platform to all my colleagues on the dais and off the dais. It's basically, interacting and meeting with each other. This kind of an educational credit, we are just confining it towards students. But I think there are a lot of things that I wish and I observe in some other university, but it takes a heart to go and say that I'm enrolling there. But if you introduce something like an educational credit for faculties, ma'am, retention point, what you said. So if you introduce something like for faculties, and if I take up a particular program and I get some certain credits onto that, then I get an advantage to choose a particular certification or a summer internship or a winter internship or a 1-month program in my other university, where I want to go and learn fashion technology, I want to learn robotics. So I get that 1 month period where I go and do this particular program. So in a way, faculty development will be taken care of, faculty retention will be taken care of, infrastructure issues which you do not have in standalone institutions will be taken care of, collaboration will be done. So I think all that will be sorted. It's just that you have to help, we take a move, and we all collaborate and we do it. I think that makes all of us come to a certain platform.
So basically here technology is there. How you utilize the technology for the betterment for the student, faculty is important. Right? Here not only like what I also see is that it's not only for the utilization of a facility also, it is also implementing certain things also. See, you can incentivize when students, let us take doing some activity on protecting my environment in the campus. If they are not doing, see, my campus is completely plastic free. You cannot find a single-use plastic in my campus. If a student brings that, he or she has a penalty at the gate itself. If somebody, visitor is coming to our campus, my security guard at the entrance, that request is, sir, please don't bring your plastic bottle outside when you are in a campus. You will get a glass bottle everywhere. Right? So you can incentivize for implementing certain things which are required for the nation also. So this incentivizing things can be clubbed with the usage of technology.
And plus, if it is properly strictly implemented and you have a penalty system, so you can penalize also.
Yeah, so I even when I'm starting from my home, I check my bag first that I don't carry the plastic bottle which I get from hotel. Right? So we prefer to have the glass bottle. Even my home also now we have started using only glass bottles.
That's great, and plus I think such additional initiative or additional sort of things that we are doing in the institution, right? Let's say avoiding plastic, or if you want to have students coming on time, probably. So such things as well we can look at and probably do that, because we have attendance management as well. We have canteen management and overall couple of things which are aligned. So here what's happening is student is going, they are just tapping, they're making the payment, right? Student is going to nearby store, they're just tapping, they're making the payment. Even library management is also to an extent is taken care of. So such things if you want to develop some habit, let's say students should go to library and do, I'm just throwing thoughts in the air. So such things you can also manage and implement via a digital ecosystem which we are trying to have it. Okay, so I think one last probably question, Himanshu, if you want to take it up. So just one quick thought: how exactly, what do you see the benefit for the students in integrities and for the institution next 2-3 years? Like let's say, we implement the system and you go in the future 2-3 years ahead. So how exactly the world's gonna look like?
So I think majorly it's more of pushing them to achieve more, kind of a motivation that you do something and then you get 3x or 5x of it in return. It may be education credits, financial credits, or more development for themselves. But I look towards it as a great lever of motivation for them to achieve more. So I think we should definitely go ahead and
You're saying lever to achieve more in terms of academically, co-curricular activity-wise, in terms of, let's say, for example, people are more aspire towards becoming a sports person, but again, like considering India being a country where you don't really earn that much money as compared to abroad, so probably let's say just a thought, like you are getting credits to participate more in sports, so probably is that gonna push people to more look into sports, and probably we have more people coming, more medalists in Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a thought.
Sports is picking up, and it's always picked up in India. India means sports, we are a healthy country, and
Yeah.
BSc Sports and Exercise Sciences is one program, or a Masters in Sports and Exercise Sciences is one program, which is one sought out program in universities, and you see such great students taking up this program, and not just to be as a sports person, but also as for them to be as coaches, for them to be as trainers, for them to be as people who are associated to sports events. So there's a lot of dimension towards sports that can be there. Adding this as a credit is also for from a perspective of drawing an attention of an individual towards what all can you do in life. So having these educational credits and showing him a broader outlook, or giving him a broader outlook to the offerings that other things are, I think that makes much more sense.
Yeah, so I think from thought to action is what the credits can, probably get probably can get the action things implemented for the students. Like probably let's say out of 100 people who are even thinking about it, and let's say you got certain credits, so out of 30, probably 30 can at least think of going, at least start doing something, right? And probably 5-10 probably do it on a regular basis. So
can I just say one thing? If I want to learn fashion technology, or I want to learn jewelry design, it will take a lot of effort for me to actually go to a university and say, what, I want to enroll for a particular program. But if I take that card of yours and say, what, I've got these education credits, and they've given me this offering of having a 1 month or a 2 month or a 3 month summer program at your university, I think that gives me more confidence, that gives me a sense of pride that I have earned these credits, and basis this credit, earning this credit, I'm being rewarded for this. So it's more or less like a reward which I've come to encash. It's not something that has come to me free, or I've opted out for, because ego is death of life and death of ego is life. So we all say this, but it's difficult to actually practice this. But if you give me a card and say, ma'am, congratulations, you've been coming on time every day, and 365 days, your attendance and your timelines have been amazing, and now you have been rewarded with a credit, educational credit. You go to an X university and you learn their 1 month certificate program in artificial intelligence or augmented reality or something like that. So I will with pride go to that.
So you're feeling privileged to just follow the basic human principles of punctuality and like in a lot of particular manner.
It benefits and motivates.
So ultimately it's a technology that you want to utilize, and then it's up to you how you can utilize it for the betterment of your institute, right? Whether for a student, staff, or anybody else can. Right? Ultimately, that matters.
One of the important prerequisites from a university standpoint is also to ensure that you have an integrated digital system so that when a customer or maybe in this case a student goes across, the friction for getting that credit or encashing that credit is minimized. I mean, many a time you find you go and apply for a leave credit, let's say, in an institute. I mean, it goes around in circles. Who's going to approve the leave? Who's going to grant that? This sort of a frustration should not be there if
So it's more like a single platform.
otherwise, we are talking of high-fidelity technology on one side, and on the other side, there's a lot of bureaucracy which sort of kills it.
I think blockchain is supporting this kind of.
It's not about technology, ma'am. It's
Yeah.
about more to do with the
Human
way
approach.
we should run like a digital company. I mean, that's the only
Yeah,
answer
it's
to it.
difficult for us in this generation to learn this technology in depth, but the kids are learning very well. Just they are getting a prompt and they are onto it. So these kind of things has to be exposed to them. These things are existing, and you require to go ahead forward. So they will make the way out. 101% they will make the way out. Only the thing is we need give them a kind of guidance and facilities. Yeah, this is the way, and you have to enter. They will do it. That is for sure. This generation is doing very well.
To sum it up,
I think the awareness and the right kind of platform is something which,
Yes.
and plus again the privilege and rewarding experience is like almost no matter how small or how big it is, but it is the human emotion of achievement and privilege, which is a intriguing factor for them, I think. So I think the time is up, but I think we can go on and on this
Yes.
particular topic. So probably we can,
Now that we started finding it interesting, and we thought we'll have some of our colleagues sitting out there, join us for this interaction. She says it's time, so we can't help it now. So,
probably she can arrange another session in the second half.
Now we are in between the food and.
Yeah, that's a different concern. So I think should we?
Alright, thank you very much, sir. And I think, as ma'am said, we can definitely take up this conversation during our networking lunch. And for this, I would request Mr. Anmol to please felicitate all our esteemed panelists for joining us today. A big round of applause for all our panelists for making us today despite the busy schedule. Thank you very much. Ma'am, can we please step a little forward? Ma'am, please stay with us for the group picture on the stage. Thank you. And with that, may I request Srimati Krishna Tiwari ma'am to please felicitate our moderator for this conversation. Ma'am, thank you for being the champion of this conversation and driving it so well. Thank you very much, sir.
when I entered, this gentleman, he introduced himself that he is a student of my school, Mother Mary's Junior English High School.
Yeah, Mother Mary's English High School. Yeah, I think 2005.
Oh my God. So we are greeting each other through this kind of. Okay. So glad to see you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Can we all please step forward for the group picture? Thank you.
मैम वेट दिनेश बैठ जा मैम वेट थैंक यू
Thank you very much, our dear panelists, once again for joining us today. And while we are just about to break out for lunch, one small request that while we are doing our award ceremony in the evening, there are two of our very esteemed guests who have to leave for some personal reasons. So we are gonna felicitate two of our award winners right now, and I would love if all of you can stay with us on this for like next 5 minutes, please.
हेलो वो ठीक है अपने को मिल जाएगा.
And to felicitate our dear award winners, may I please request Mr. Rahul Ataluri, who is the co-founder